What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson Fury's Cornerman, and he says that I feel ashamed, and he rubbishes the conspiracy theories, okay? Let's give you guys a backstory. Have you didn't know, Tyson Fury defeated, undefeated at the time, WBC champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. His corner threw in the towel in the 7th round, and Wilder's situation worsened, bringing the match to a stop. Okay, of course, Wilder no longer remains unbeaten, but it is still unbelievable just how he won, or how easy the win was for Fury. And at times, these conspiracy theories sparkle at the most, like they're doing right now. Okay. One of the most prominent theories revolving around the fight revolves around the player's gloves. Apparently, Fury's team removed the padding from the gloves so as to make the opponent more susceptible to knuckles. Okay? Now here's the thing. One of Fury's former opponents, Steve Cunningham, two houses the same belief. He says, "Who throws a hook like this? Slapping a hook. Nobody. Nobody is taught to slap a hook like that. Why is Tyson Fury throwing a hook like this, especially at the level of boxing?" He says Tyson Fury is literally pulling down his glove at some point in the fight. He is getting his hands slipped down to where the knuckles are not protected by any padding. Now, Steve Cunningham, of course, he fought him twice. And so he is an ex-rival of Tyson Fury, and he asked the question. And the question says, who throws a hook like this? Okay, absolutely nobody. Well, Counterpunch, that's absolutely false. We've seen a lot of people throw punches like that. Okay, Muhammad Ali, Aaron Pryor, Ali's ugly sparring partner, right? A lot of people have threw punches like that. Larry Holmes, that's the word I was looking for. They use these punches, and they throw these type punches because they don't want to lose the speed behind the punches. So it's better to land the punch rather than to land that punch properly. Okay? A lot of shots, they wing the punch, and it's a slapping effect a lot of times. Okay? Now, what also is this? Jorge Capotillo rubbishes the theory, which is the cornerman of Tyson Fury. He says that Fury's team himself came out to clarify the doubts. Tyson Fury's cornerman recently spoke to the World Boxing News regarding that. He said the people are discrediting this man who has been working and sacrificing to get to this level. There's a commission who checks the gloves after the fight, and when we are in the locker rooms, the commission is in charge to bring the gloves to the locker room, and they have them themselves until the fighter's gloves are on. There's no time to manipulate the glove. I feel ashamed for those people who like to discredit the sacrifice of the fighter. In the particular time, Tyson Fury is a man of his word. He is a man who plays fair. He won the fight fair and square. He was the bigger man. He was the strongest man. He was the more IQ man in the ring. And that's what happened. Now, the question is it right to blame Tyson Fury for this? Okay. A lot of these guys that are blaming Tyson Fury are Wilder fans. Now, you did have Stephen Cunningham. Stephen Cunningham, I don't think he's a Wilder fan, but I definitely know he's a rival of Tyson Fury. So the question you say is, okay, does that hold any merit? You know, why did he hit him with that type of punch? You know, why did he slap with it? The question is, has he done that before in his other fights? And the answer to that is yes, he's done that. Okay? Now, mind you, if there was something wrong with Tyson Fury's gloves. If they, let's say the third fight, something pops up in the glove that ain't right and it makes news, I will be the first one to apologize to everybody, right? But I honestly don't think that's the case, and I also think there is a responsibility that's gathered by the corner of Deontay Wilder. Now, I will say this. I will say this next fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, if there's any merit, if there's any truth, then Deontay Wilder's team, they are required to thoroughly check those gloves, okay? And furthermore, to eradicate any type of theory, they need to check them when the commission holds them, puts them on, checks them before the fight starts and during the rounds of the fights to see if any of that tape has been altered, removed, replaced, right? To see if those gloves are the way they're supposed to be, or those gloves are in the same condition they were when they were put on. Now, they could do that if they were concerned about their fighter. In fact, that's what any corner would do, or that's what they should have done anyway. So if Tyson Fury, theoretically, if he was doing something shady, it's look, it's bad, it's shitty. Don't get me wrong, but what's also shittier is the fact that corner did not catch it. So you're blasting a guy for doing a certain thing, which you pay people to know what that thing is. They supposed to be able to. That don't look right. Perfect example, Nassim Richardson. He trained Sugar Shane Mosley. He trained Bernard Hopkins for the longest, okay? And he saw that something is not right about Antonio Margarito's gloves the night that he was coaching. He was in the corner and the head trainer of Sugar Shane Mosley, okay? That's what he caught. Now, does everybody catch everything? No. But you need someone that's experienced like that to see, to pinpoint, to be able to decipher that shit ain't right. Something ain't right about that glove. Why is it bubbling up like that? That doesn't supposed to unwrap that. And when they unwrapped it, it fell right out. Boop. Fell out on the floor, they say. And then guess the whole thing is, we don't know. No say, no. You know what I mean? Nobody knew what that was. And it wasn't Roberto Garcia and his team. It was, I don't know who Antonio Margarito's trainer was at the time. But, everyone played dumb. Like they didn't know they didn't know what was going on. So, again, I think that it could be, if it was anything to it. Now, you do have Steve Cunningham. He is a different entity. But this mostly started from people that just could not believe Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder the way he beat Deontay Wilder. And I know at times it's easier to believe something like, he cheated, because, that would satisfy, first of all, what Deontay Wilder said. No, the punches didn't hurt me at all, which wouldn't really make sense, because the punches should have affected him more. Which I think they did the way he punched him. But I think those punches he should have had some type of complaint, or felt like, hey, something wasn't right about those gloves. You know what I mean? And that just leads you to another question. Well, why didn't he himself come out and say anything about those gloves? Like, you know what? They were kind of thudding more than they did before. It's like he had something in them, or they didn't feel right when he hit me, or there was a difference between the first fight and the second fight. Anything like that would suffice. Then we could go ahead and say, you know what? Even Deontay Wilder said that punch didn't feel the same. I remember Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto took a beating of his life against Antonio Margarito. Okay? And after that fight, they had a picture of the glove, because he took the glove off, but the glove wasn't the problem. It was what he had under the tape and the gauche. He had those plaster of Paris, and what happened, it hardens up over time, okay? So that little whatever that plaster of Paris was, that's what it's called. It heals up and it hardens up. So after time, he was hitting Cotto with those hard indentions or whatever, that plaster. That plaster started to crack. And when it started to crack, you could see the crack in there. You don't supposed to see anything like that at all. Okay? Nothing's supposed to crack because there's no material in that glove that's supposed to crack like that. And of course, Miguel Cotto and Margarito, they were arguing in the face-off with Max Kellerman. And Max was like, look, I see what you're talking about. What is that? He said, oh, it's nothing. You know, it's nada. You know, entonces, it's nada. He was saying what it was. But the thing is, it didn't look right. But then coincidental, the very next fight, they found out he was wrong. That's why he's never really fought professionally again. And I'm with Floyd Mayweather. He should never fight again. If it's Luis Resto or Jose Resto, you know, and Panama Lewis, right? He was the trainer. Panama Lewis was banned and fined. Jose Resto was never able to fight again. That should have been Antonio Margarito's same fate. Okay, you don't do anything like that. You don't do stuff like that. That's terrible. Miguel Cotto, you don't know how that affected him in his career. We know he was undefeated before he brought his ass in there and fighting against cheating ass Margarito. And then now the question is, how many times did he do that? How many times did he get away with doing that same stuff? He could have done that again and again and again. He just got caught. You know he was going to do it. He tried it with Mosley. And Mosley beat him merciless for it. I mean, he beat him as though, I know what you tried to do, and you're going to fucking pay. I love watching that fight. That's probably one of my best top 10 fights because of what happened in the backstory and the treachery that they attempted to do in that situation. So again, it angers me to see somebody cheat. So it's not the fact that I'm just against the idea of Tyson Fury cheating. There's no evidence of him cheating. You know what I'm saying? So it would be different if it was like, oh, well, he threw it like this. And the things that they're coming up with, because I just did a video on it last night, it's not adding up. If it added up, I would take a look at it, believe me. Because I know boxing is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. I know this, right? It's stuff that I hate about the sport, but I love the sweet science of the sport. And the stuff that I hate about the sport is stuff that could be like this. But it's enough shitty things like the Margarito incident to make you hate the sport. But it's another thing making shit up. Okay? We have enough things to worry about besides you're making things up. We got enough already shadiness that happened in the sport. You know? Billy Collins, Jose Resto, that's a bad situation. None of that. That whole situation stunk. Nobody was never the same. Billy Collins, I think he committed suicide or got in a bad accident, became an alcoholic, went through depression. It was terrible. And he was another undefeated fighter. Okay? So again, if they do have proof, and if it's real proof, but if it's just something because you just hate the fact a white guy beat a black guy, come on, let's stop that. But if there is something to it, if there is something to what you're saying, speak your piece and come correct. But anyway, that's my take on it. You guys tell me what you think about the Cornerman of Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.